What's up, world? Lee here with Sticks, Strings, and Other Things, my teeny tiny little corner of the internet where I come to you every other week to chit chat with you about all of the crafty things that I have been getting my hands onto. This is episode 45 and I am filming on August 23rd. This will go up on August 24. First thing out the gate, I'm just gonna let you know, a little less crafting this past 2 weeks because my cat tried to kill me and I fell down the stairs, sprained my ankle, minor sprain on my wrist. The wrist is feeling a lot better, but it definitely did cut in to my crafting. The cat is fine. No worries about the cat. Me, however, FUD. It happens. Anyhow, like I said, my name is Lee. I'm coming to you from the Pacific Northwest, where we actually had a very nice marine layer this morning. It was quite delightful. Sadly, it's burning off and becoming very, very warm. Again, I'm really over summer and I am desperate. Desperate for fall. Please let it be fall. It is not yet, and we still have many days of high temperatures for the Pacific Northwest ahead of us, and I am over it. So over it. Anyhow, you can also find me on Instagram and on Ravelry as Killrain. I do not post so well on Ravelry anymore. I used to be very, very good at keeping up my projects and taking lots of photos anymore. But I'm trying to get back into it because I like to remember what I've done. It's very handy. I like it. I am drinking out of my tea goth mug today, and it was, oh, what was it called? Chocolate Truffle, I think was the name of it, from Adiago Teas. It is a black tea with like cocoa nibs and things like that in it. It's quite nice. Yes, I know. I'm complaining about the heat, and here I am drinking hot tea. I don't think there is a temperature where I would not drink hot tea. Just saying. Just saying. Right. Let's get into the things. I have some finishes. What? I know. I'm wearing one, in fact, right here. Yes, this is the Salty Air Tea by Samantha Guerin. And here, let me get a little closer. Yeah, that's great. There we go. Has this lovely faux cable, lacy yoke. It is semi-cropped. See? Semi-cropped. And it's delightful. No one needed to see any of that close up, but I wanted to show off the knitting because it is beautiful. I very much like this top. I'm very happy to have it finished. It is quite lovely, quite lovely. I used Hazelnut's Yarns Artisan Sock in the colorway Plume. It's been washed, it's been blocked. All the ends are woven in, and it's lovely. That is one finish. I have another in the knitting world, and that finish is the You Wish Shawl by Lyrical Knits. It is washed, it is blocked, it has its ends woven in. Oops, except for two. Yes, all the ends are woven in, except those two. Oops. So here we go. Here we are. Here we are. Whoop. Oh. And that one. Okay, all the ends but three are woven in. Oops. Anyhow, this was delightful. I enjoyed it, and I was very glad to get it finished. It is, as you can tell, quite long. Like, full arm span, plus that much. So it will make a nice little neck wrap thing once I weave in those last three ends. Oops. It's wonderfully soft. I'm trying to remember what yarns I used. I think they were Cannon hand dyes. And this is why I would like to get back up on my Ravelry, because I can't remember. I loved it. It's squishy, it's nice, it's finished. Almost. Oops, but it's good, it's good. I have done a few more crochet squares. Again, strained wrist, whatever. Not as many got done, but I have this one, that one, and this one. So I have 3 more to add to my pile. I'm trying to not have the ring light glare in my glasses, because if I sit like this, you can, but if I take the glasses off like this, I can't see. I'm blind as a bat. I mean, technically bats see actually rather well, but I'm blind as a bat. It is the phrase. Ooh. Next up, I have two cross stitch finishes too. Who am I? Finishing things like a person who finishes things. I don't know. First, I have my Bayou Cat by Owl Forest Embroidery. Oh yeah. Look at that. Oh, love it. Love it so. I did finish this up, and I did get the kit. So it's the Owl Forest Embroidery flosses and the linen in the kit. Let me bring it forward so you can revel in the kitty glory. Oh, so good. Oh, look at Kitty. Look at Mices. Look. Anyhow, I'm very happy with this piece. I love the colors. I loved the whole thing. It is a delight. And I have some of all the colors left over, which that's always nice. I don't remember who it was, but someone had mentioned that when they did this, they ran out of the blue that is used. And so I was very, very cautious with my blue. I have plenty. I have plenty of the blue left over. I really enjoyed this piece. I enjoyed the entire stitching process of that piece. It just, it was delightful and pretty, and I liked all of the motifs and the, it was beautiful. I loved it. I loved it, people. It was great. Makes me want to do many more Owl Forest embroidery kits. They're hard to get right now, but I do have, I think, 4 waiting in the wings, so I'm good. And then I had another finish. I know. Who am I? When I start fully finishing things, people, that's when you can all pass out. I promise. I promise. What was my other finish? My Seasons by the Sea from Jeanette Douglas. So here is summer and autumn with all of the beads, with the, here, let me get a little closer, with all the beads and the charms. So I have a little octopus charm there and a little shell charm. Then we move up to, I'm so sorry about the shadow. I will have to play with that. Maybe I'll pause and play with that in a minute. Right, then here is spring and winter. You have not seen winter before. There it is with the lighthouse and the octopus and the whale, and oh yeah. So good, so good. So here is the entire piece. Ah. I loved it. All of the specialty stitches, all of the everything. It was fantastic. And yeah, I just loved it. I know it is done. And honestly, that also makes me happy because that's another finish. I was keeping track of them and then I stopped, and then I need to be better about, I don't know, keeping track of things. Right. That is that. And that is all my finishes. Oh, you know, just, I'm not going to count the crochet squares. They don't really count as finishes. So Just 4 finishes. Just, you know, it's a random day in the month of August, and I have 4 finishes. Yeah. Alright, I'm actually going to pause and see if I can fix this shadowy thing that's going on. We'll see. I'll be right back. I'm back. I don't know if that will help or not, but I re-angled the light. We'll see. We'll see. Anyhow, where was I? Right, that was all my finishes. That's where I was. Sorry, I have my notes over here. Now I have whips. There I have a bit less because I have all these finishes, so I was working on those. I have, living in here, my Supernatural Stitch Along by the Witchy Stitcher. I am doing this one on Peanut, 40 count Peanut by the Stitch Me, using all the called for DMCs. And I am up to date still. Finally, I'm finishing up the top border because I now see exactly where I needed to be with it, and that is delightful, and I'm slowly working my way down said border. So we have the Gin, which all I see is Linda Carter, so I started calling that Jinda Carter because it looks like Wonder Woman. It can't be just me that sees Wonder Woman in that gin. It can't be. Look, look, look! How do you not see Wonder Woman there? Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. And then I have the Angel, and I kind of am delighted by the Angel because it's got multiple eyes. And if you've read the Bible, they have multiple eyes. They do not look human. They're angels. Depends on the angel, but you know, whatever. So I have my Angel. And there is the whole thing. You'll notice I am taking this out. I have a weird miscount, and I'm just going to fudge it down at the bottom. Not a big deal. But I need to fudge it at the bottom, so it's just gonna all come out. And that's fine, because it will look right. Enjoying this, and happy that I am keeping up to date, because I did get behind that one time, and it was a pain in the butt to get back on track, and I don't want to get behind again. I'm behind on enough of my cells. Oh my god, am I behind enough on many, many cells, so I would like to keep at least a couple of them up to date. This would be one. Alright, my other project that I worked on is living in here, and that is my 25/7 piece, which is Ruskin's Penguins. I am doing this on a 40 count Scotsman by Stitch Me using the called for Leo and Roxy flosses. And I'm loving it. I am up to date on this one as well. I haven't done today's 25 minutes. I'm loving it. So sweet. It is so sweet. Starting this was one of my Whip Go goals for this month, and obviously I've done so. I am caught up to date with Whip Go, and that also makes me happy. Right, I am enjoying this. I love the Leo and Roxy flosses. I really enjoyed starting to put in the white color. It's what? Antique wedding dress? I don't remember. I don't remember the name of the white. Whatever white it is. I really loved how it started changing the look of the entire piece by adding in that white. It just gave some wonderful, wonderful detailing. Look at it again. Just bask in the glory of Ruskin's Penguins. Yes. You'll note there's a lack of before and after photos. I'm gonna try. Well, after. You have the after. But before photos, I'm really bad at it. I would like to get into that because I really enjoy it when I watch other floss tubes and they're doing it. So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and be better. But it's still hit or miss because it's not something I'm used to doing yet. So we'll see. We'll see how I do. Loving that one. It is so much fun. And it's so cute. It's just penguins. Penguin. And that was all my whips. But I did have two, count them, two new starts. One is knitting. No, both are knitting. Sorry, both are knitting. So one is the Autonomy Cowl by, what was her name? Romy Hill. And it's, oh, right, I screwed it up really badly and frogged the whole thing. It's just a simple bandana cowl. I'm doing it in green. I was gifted the pattern from Diary of a Physicist Farm Girl. She had a giveaway for the pattern on her floss tube. I signed up and I was the name chosen. And so I started it pretty much as soon as I got the chart. And on my second day of working on it, it's just a simple lace pattern in the center and it's very geometric. And I messed it up, and it was very obvious, and I tried to frog, or tried to drop down to fix it, made it worse. Tried to go, and then I was just like, fine, frog the whole thing, and I will try that again later. It is a lovely piece, and autonomy, bodily autonomy, kind of a thing that I support. So, also, no, doesn't matter. Yeah, yeah. And my second new start was also a knit project, like I said. It is living in my library card bag by Fat Squirrel Fiber, or Fat Squirrel. I love the Fat Squirrel bags. She makes fantastic bags, and they are big, and I love it. And this is a 3-head size, I think. This is the Bennett Sister Shawl, and I am using McMullen Fiber Company in, well, I haven't started using this particular color yet, but it will be in their Moorland Heather Fluff and their Landscape Escape Posh Sock. Let me just drop things all over the place. I started this the other day, and that is as far as I am. Oh, interesting. It looks like there is a stripe right here. There isn't, but there kind of is. Oh, that's kind of fun. I love hand-dyed yarns because they can do funky things. In person, you don't see it that bright. Interesting. That's fun. Anyhow, this is Landscape Escape. It is their plush fingering, which is a mohair cashmere nylon. Do I have that right? Merino cashmere nylon. I think I said mohair cashmere nylon. Merino cashmere nylon. Ta-da! And like I said, this is the Bennett Sisters Shawl by, I didn't write down the name. This is what, how can I show this off? I'm showing you the back anyway. So it looks like garter, but then you get, I'm just starting the point where we have the bottom half will be in stockinette with this top part being in garter. It looks really, really cool. And then you get to the second half and you hold your yarn with this, which is a very lilac-y color, and I'm enjoying it. So I'll be holding that strand with this for the second half of the shawl, and it will be delightful. But yeah, I haven't been able to work on this because wrist. Yep, but I'm loving it. It feels so good. Feels so good. So it is a simple shawl, and you only need 2 skeins of a fingering weight and 1 skein of a mohair. I am using a size 6 4.0 millimeter, a US size 6 4.0 millimeter needle. It's really lovely. I'm going to show off one part. I'm loving, it's this side. Let me show the right side. Correct side, correct side, correct side, correct side. Here we go. I'm loving, I don't know if I can show it off very well, the detailing that the increases do on this side. It's just a really subtle detail, but I really like it. And then you just have, you know, an I-cord edging on this side. This side too has an I-cord edging, but it also has an increase near it, and so it does this kind of neat detail that I'm all for. I am all here for that. I do hope to get back to this one pretty soon because I'm really liking it. It's a pleasure to knit on because it's simple, but there's a little bit of detail, and I'm really excited to get to the point where you get halfway through the project and you add the mohair. The designer does have a little note in there saying, hey, you know, when you hold mohair with a fingering weight, your gauge is going to change just a little bit. Make sure you got enough yarn. So weigh your yarn. I have like 40 yards extra, more than called for the project. So I'm not really concerned about that, but I love that she added that detail because that would be a detail that a lot of people wouldn't think about. And then they'd run out of yarn at the end of their project, and then there would be tears. Tears for days. But she warns you, and I loved that. Granted, I'm gonna ignore it and just knit without weighing my yarn because I'm a rebel. But if I fuck up, well, guess whose fault it is? It is totally mine. And the designer gets off scot-free because she warned me. And I ignored her. I'm gonna be fine though. I am, I think, doing that on the actual called for needles, so I'm a tight knitter, which already means my shawl is gonna be smaller, but I liked the fabric I was getting on it, and since it's a shawl, gauge isn't gonna matter too much. I mean, I might have a slightly smaller shawl than intended, but it looked like a nicely decent sized shawl, so it doesn't matter. Right. I'm liking the fabric that my stitches and my needles are making, and so therefore I am happy. It does mean I might use a little less yarn, so, woo, mohair. A little less yarn, so I'm not so worried about weighing my yarn to make sure that I will have enough. I'm really confident that I will have more than enough of the fingering weight yarn. When I'm finished and I run out, you can all remind me of this video where I was like, my confidence level is high. I'm gonna be great. And you can all look, tell me to go back, and laugh at me. I would deserve it. Anyhow, that is all of the projects, the knitting, the cross stitch, even some crochet. What? I know, it's fantastic. So now we're going to get on to plans. And I do have a few. Yes, I do have plans. First off, the next time I come to you, it will be September. What? It will be September. I know. So what are some of my plans? One of my plans is beginning of September, the next portion of the Modern Folk Embroidery Yearly Knit Along will have arrived. I will have started it. I will hopefully have finished it. And I will then feel brave enough to cut the fabric for that piece, so I will no longer be working on an entire yard of fabric. I know. It'll be great. So that's one plan. Second plan, stay up to date with the Supernatural Sal. That should be pretty easy because I think, is it this Friday that's a rest week? This Friday might be the rest week, which means I will only have one more spooky to have added. So I should be able to do that, and I'm going to continue to go down the side that I have not finished. I'm forgetting which side it is. It depends on which way you're looking at it. I guess it's the right, left, right. One of them. Yes, Lee. It's either the left or the right side. One of them. One of them. I swear. I swear. So that is my other plan. I will keep up to date on my 25/7 piece, and I'm curious as to how far I will get in 2 weeks on that one with 25 minutes a day, because that piece is smaller than I thought it was. I knew it wasn't very big. I saw it's 100 and some odd by 100 and some odd stitches, 100 and some odd wide, 100 and some odd tall, whatever. I saw that. But then I started stitching it, and I'm like, this is adorably small. I love it. So, since it is adorably small, I'm very curious as to how far I will get in 2 weeks of 25 minutes a day. It'll be fun. So I definitely take the photo, take the before photo, take the before photo, because that would be really cool. That's why before photos exist. Shocking, I know. So that's the other one. I am also going to pull out Isabella's Heart by Modern Folk Embroidery. Evidently, it's going to be a Modern Folk Embroidery 2 weeks, because I am making that as a project for others. That happens next year. I would like to have it finished, and so I'm going to focus on that one, and so maybe get it done. I don't know. I put it on my stand the other evening and put like 20 stitches in and did not take a before photo, so there will be no before photo when I pull it out. Oh well, but I'm going to start on that one. We'll see how far I get. What else stitching wise? Well, it depends. There's something else coming out on the 1st of September. Autumn Line Stitchery, Dark Queen of the Earth. Yeah, I totally signed up. Oh yeah, I signed up. And I ordered the flosses and the bead pack and the fabric from, what is it, Under the Sea Fabrics? I believe that's who it is. And, well, so did everyone else on the planet, it seems. So, indie dyers, being indie dyers, are, small, tiny businesses, of which usually they only have maybe one employee themselves. Sometimes they're lucky and maybe have another. Maybe they could rope in some friends. Anyhow, I will see whether or not I have the materials in time to start Dark Queen of the Earth when it comes out. If I do, I will totally start it. And if I don't, I will just wait. It's all fine. The person is dying as fast as she can, as much as she can, but she should not break her body in order to appease people. Like, there's only so much one person can do. There's only so many things that a small business can do in situations like that. They can either break themselves. No, that should not be an option, but it tends to be what they do. Or they can limit the amount, which nobody likes. Or they can die at a saner pace and people have to wait. I think that's the better option. Either limit or save saner pace so that they don't hurt themselves. I'm happy to wait. I know not everyone is, but I want these dyers and these indie businesses to last and to stick around, and they're not going to if they break themselves or get stressed out. It's just, they can't if they do those things. So I will happily wait. It is not like I do not have other projects to work on. I mean, maybe if I was a monogamous stitcher, I would care. But those people are unicorns. Unicorns! I know they exist, but I've never seen one. If you're a monogamous stitcher, please tell me, because you fascinate me. You really do. I kind of, part of me want to worship at your feet. I don't know how you do it, and I think that's beautiful. Anyhow, so that is another start that will occur, just maybe not before my next video, because I don't know if I'll have the materials, and that's okay. Do I have any other plans? Well, knitting wise, I'm going to work more on my shawl, Bennett sister shawl. And my work project, which I didn't bring because it was the sidewalk sale or the summer sale this past Friday, and I did not have a chance to do anything but sell yarn to people, which is a pretty awesome job, so can't really complain at all. Oh no, I went to work and I sold yarn to people and made them happy. Yeah, it's a hardship. It's a hardship, I tell you. But I will continue to work on that. And I think, no, because it's not cool enough yet. When it cools down, I would love to get back to my half and half wrap. It's too big at this point, and it's too warm for me to want to knit on wool alpaca blend. I mean, it has linen in it as well, but it's wool, alpaca, and linen. And the wool alpaca portion makes the knitting heavy and hot. Well, it's not actually that heavy because it's very light, but it makes it hot. It makes it warm, and I don't want to knit on it when it's warm. But I really want to get back to it because I really, 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 really want it done. Go. And my other plan is, you might have noticed behind me, things have slightly changed. And that would be because I am inventorying all of my yarn. I have a spreadsheet, and it is all going into the spreadsheet, which is delightful, and I am very excited by getting it all inventoried so I know what I have, and I'm surprised by some things, and I'm not surprised by others. I'm loving it. It's so much nicer. It's gorgeous. It's glorious. It's the bestest thing in my current world, but it is taking a lot of effort. And when I am done inventorying all my yarn, I am then going to turn to my stitching and organize it a lot better. So figure out what I have, figure out what charts I have, and do all of that. So that is also one of my plans. It's just one that you won't see as much of directly. Eventually you'll see that this bin will get full, completely full. This bin behind me will also get completely full. This one already is. So's that one. So's that one. Look. Look. Oh, it looks so good. I'm so happy. So those are basically my plans. I'm hoping to keep taking it pretty easy on my wrist, so there will be a little less of the knitting. I feel really low. Oh well, maybe I'll. Oh, that didn't help at all. Whatever. Sorry, y'all. I just got closer. It's not a good thing. I'm gonna pause 1 second. I don't know if it helped anything, but I feel better. So halfway through this, I'm gonna be in a different framing of the video because I felt really low. My logic makes no sense to even me. Right, so that was plans. What do we have next? Tiny. Not so tiny. Bit of acquisition. Luckily, all my yarn is clubs. So, that doesn't really count as stash, does it? No. Yes. First, I have my Leading Men Fiber Arts Cast of Characters mini set came in. We have Pretty Petals, Poseidon, Popeye's Delight. Huh, it's green, like spinach. That's Pop the Cork, and Poison Ivy. I'm still enjoying these. I'm not going to enjoy inventorying these, but I am very much still enjoying these delightful minis. The other thing that I received was my Knit Spin Farm. This is the August colorway, and it is National Punch Day, which is September 20. This has even wide stripes of raspberry, pink lemonade, pineapple, and lime sherbet baby shower punch. And that's what she was talking about. She was talking about baby shower punch. which I had never heard of the term, but I had heard of and witnessed the drink, where you essentially take a bunch of lime sherbet and then you pour Sprite on top of it for some reason, and then you drink it for some reason. I don't get it. Anyway, the colors are very summery berry, and I like that. So I need to inventory this, and then it can live with all of my stripings. Oh yeah. So that is all of the yarn, and I have a few cross-stitchy bits. The Witchy Stitcher had a sale, I just dropped it, the other day. And this was extras from some box she had things in. And I had to get it. And so this is the entire kit for Poe the Raven cross-stitch kit. And I delight in it. So since it is the kit, it has all the things, including this really awesome fabric. Oh yeah. See, I didn't want to have to find the fabric. I know it's... You're all yelling the name. I know you are. It starts with a P. Fine, I'll go look, because it's going to bug me now. Primitive Hair. Told you it started with a P. So I have the fabric, Primitive Hair's fabric. And I know I could have found this on my own, but this way I didn't have to. And then it's just the black DMC, because you know I needed more, considering I have a cone. And then the pattern, Leave My Loneliness Unknown. And I'm not worried about showing that part of it, because it's not the chart. It's the information page of the chart, which is safe. But yes, unknown, unbroken. Evidently, I can't read. And I love this. Love, 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 love. And this will be going in a certain pile of things that I want to do in October, because I want all of my October to be Halloween stitching. All Hallows October. All the time. All Hallows. All Hallows. All Hallows all month. That is what I want for October. Oh yes. And so I am making a stack of all the spooky-ish or spooky, or I like them gothy things that I want to stitch on in October. So I'm making a pile because it's almost September, so therefore I can make plans for October, even though I didn't make plans for September. Right? I know it's sampler September, but I have no plans to start, or maybe I'll work on a sampler, but I don't know. But I have plans for October. Priorities, people. Priorities. Spooky is a priority. Definitely. Anyhow, the next thing I bought was Liz Matthews' You Are My Sunshine. I kept going back and forth on this. I'm not a fan of yellow, but I love these, and it has to be stitched in yellow. It has to be. And I want to stitch them just like she has them, and I want to put them in giant frames with all that white space around it. And I just, yeah, I just, I don't know, I'm in love with these. For some reason, this, well, I know why, the song, it's the song. It's the song. I have a gorgeous, and I'm looking over at my silks over there, I have a gorgeous variegated yellow silk that I'm going to use for this. And, don't know what fabric, but don't know when I'm going to start it. But I just had to. And then the last thing I bought was a special, a exclusive. That's the word she's going for, folks. An exclusive from a Facebook group I'm in, whose name starts with an H that I can't remember the name of. It was this kit from the Scarlet House, and it says, it's called a sampler for all seasons. And it says, when the weather is hot, rainy or cold, I look at my chart and stitch as I'm told. The wind may howl, raindrops may fall. I'm in my own world and safe from it all. With colors of thread from every hue, it makes me happy. This much is true. I just delighted in that. And then there's houses, and then there's a reversible pin keep, and it's delightful. And so I purchased the kit because that's how it comes, and I got the NPI silks because I like silk. No clue when I'm going to start this, but it just was sweet, and so I got it. And I kind of want to start it sometime when we're having some sort of weather event. Like maybe if we have one of those horrible early wind rainstorms that knocks power out for a week. We haven't had one of those in a while. But if we have one of those, I'd love to start that. If we have just nasty weather, I want to start this on a nasty weather day. That is what I want to do. It makes sense to me. I mean, it's all about stitching inside because it's gross outside. And just rain isn't counting because can't count because I live in Washington State. Like, if you stayed inside because of the rain, you'd never leave your house for 9 months of the year. So that's not going to work. So it needs to be nasty weather, really nasty weather. And that's when this is going to be started. This will be started on the first nasty weather day that I'm at home. Ah, I like this blend. And that is all my stash. So not too shabby, not too shabby. And then it was, need a work market, and I bought a few things. So when those come in, we'll see if they're in for my next one or not. It was, I forgot the designer's name, and I forgot the name of the design, but the one that tipped me over into I have to purchase this. It is a morning sampler, but it's a modernized morning sampler, and it has all sorts of modern spooky things in it, like the Death Star is the moon, and the flowers look like the thing from Alien, and or not Alien, it looks like a Demogorgon. There's a cemetery at the bottom because it's a morning sampler, and it's kind of like Pet Cemetery, and you have Night of the Living Dead. Like, there's lots of modern spooky in it, and I saw it and was like, yeah, I need this. And so I had to buy it. And because then I was buying that, I was like, oh, and I'll get this one too. And I didn't do that bad. I think I only bought 2 things. So honestly, that's not too bad. And since I haven't been going through my cross stitch yet, I don't know how horrific it is. As soon as I do, I'll know how horrific it is, and I won't be buying anything. Much like when I got to this and I started inventorying all of this, I went, yay, I don't need any more yarn. I really don't need any more yarn. Oh, that's pretty. And so this loveliness behind me, my carefully curated yarn collection, is my art wall. That's what this is. It is an art wall. It's just a functioning art wall, which occasionally will change because it's a functioning art wall, and therefore sometimes things will be added and sometimes things will be removed. Art wall, not stash. Curated collection art wall. That's what this is. You with me on that? I hope so. That is all of my stash. And now, life stuff. Well, I told you most of it. I fell down the stairs. Evil cat tried to kill me. Yeah, it happens. I have some interesting bruising, but I didn't break anything. Worst part is my ankle. I wrenched it really pretty good, and it's still stiff and sore and unpleasant, so I'm still wrapping it and taking care of it. This was wrenched a little bit, but it's feeling better. I'm actually going to try to knit today, and we'll see if I can do that. If not, I'll just put my knitting away for a little bit longer. I want to give it a full healing before I put it back to work. I can stitch with it. I've been putting a brace on when I do so, just so I don't twist my wrist wrong, and so I'm a little slower. But I can stitch, so at least I can do some crafting, because no crafting available to me at all makes me grumpy and sad. I get the was-wells, and yeah. But that's getting better. Like I said, I'm going to attempt to knit. We'll see how that goes. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And I have like a fiber fluff on my nose. It's probably mohair from my Bennett sister shawl. It's driving me mad. Mad, I tell you. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't do anything. I don't go anywhere. I don't talk to people. I'm a hermit. The only people I talk to are you, and you never talk back. I mean, talking back sounds like a bad thing, but I would love for it to be a two-way conversation. So anytime you have any questions or comments or whatever, put them down there, and I'm happy to chit-chat with you. I have been chit-chatting with one woman who she was really sweet. She was like, if I can find some Grecian gold, I'll totally find some, and if you want, I can get some for you, and I'd send it to you, and you can pay me back, and blah, 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 blah. It was very, very sweet and kind, but obviously she also could not find Grecian gold because the stuff doesn't exist right now. But it was very sweet of her, very, very sweet of her to offer. I did, however, find a conversion color that I'm going to use for the project that I needed it for, which is something I want to start soon. I just don't know when. I mean, I'm gonna reach. One moment. It's this. His eye was on the sparrow. I have it all kitted. It's living in a Santa bag for some reason. I don't know why. It was available, I guess. I really want to start this. I needed some Grecian gold, and I didn't have any, but I found a silk conversion color that I'm going to use that I'm blanking on the name of. So I'm just going to toss that in here, and then this will be fully kitted up. And I want to start it, and it's just so big. And I have so many big things already on the go, and I mean, it is sampler September. No, I can't. Anyway, this is one of the things that I was needing Grecian gold for, but I found a workaround. But I'm liking the chit-chatting. It's great. If you liked this and you want to hang out more, see more, see how this curation changes, see all the delightful things, see if I actually get to start Dark Queen of the Sea, see how far I get on Ruskin's penguins. Ruskin's penguins, love them. You should like and subscribe and do all of the clicky things that people have you do, and I would love it if you did. Other than that, I think it's time for us to go our separate ways. You can go off to the next FlossTube, YouTube, blog, vlog, podcast thing. I can head to my computer and start editing and uploading. Downloading, editing, uploading, doing all the bits behind the camera things. And we will see each other again in 2 weeks. Until then, may your gauge be accurate, may your borders meet, and may you also enjoy a cup of whatever it is that you enjoy drinking. Until then, take care, y'all. Bye-bye.